Alright, what is up boys and girls, welcome back to another video. As always, thank you very much for joining me on the channel. Please do like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, and as always, get involved in the WhatsApp, Telegram in the description below to get our stock picks for this week. So we're just doing a bit of an overview today again for the stock market. And diving into some news first of all, you can see this is our general overview of what's been happening today. And yesterday, you can see US stocks retreated on Tuesday as investors digest the latest wave of corporate earnings, economic data, and the various tariff updates. Obviously on Friday we had that big drop in the markets because of the tariffs. The tariff deadline being on Friday, obviously a lot of uncertainty in the market, and as a result we did see a bit of a drop in the price of everything, having a very, very nice healthy pullback, I would say, after the continuous upside that we have seen recently. You can see we have basically just been on an upwards climb to the upside with basically no stopping whatsoever. On Friday, obviously, along with job earnings falling short of some expectations and also the uncertainty surrounding the tariffs, we did see that drop to the downside on the charts here. On the S&P 500, as you can quite clearly tell, obviously a little bit of volatility and uncertainty across the rest of our large stocks, which we'll talk about in a moment. But you can see some of the major headlines. Palantir stock jumped up 7% after the company earnings report reportedly beat expectations and revealed its revenue had topped 1 billion in the quarter for a first time, which is pretty incredible. You can see we had a nice rebound after that big drop on Monday, but obviously a bit of uncertainty the last few days whether or not we're going to go back to all-time highs or have a little bit of a cooling off period. I did say in Monday's video that we were going to have a cooling off period, most likely, and a bit of sideways chop. Go and check that out if you haven't already. You can see the economic data released Tuesday morning showed that the services sector unexpectedly flatlined in July. The Institute for Supply Management's service PMI registered a reading of 50.1 in July, down from June's reading of 50.8. and below the 51.5 economists surveyed in Bloomberg. So basically a little bit of uncertainty surrounding the economy as well, which is obviously leading to a bit of a drop in the stock market, as you would expect. As I said, Palantir is now one of the biggest stocks in the market, obviously continuing its indomitable climb to the upside. Really, really incredible performance by Palantir. Let me just check this out here. I'm going to add this to my repertoire, I think, because this is definitely a stock to be watching. I remember when I bought some Palantir, literally all the way back. Let me just take on the daily time frame here. I remember when Palantir was trading back in 2020, 2021, people were thinking, should we be buying or selling this? It had this massive drop down to around $5. Everyone's thinking it's over. And now look at this incredible performance over the past 3 years, up from $5 to $175. Pretty incredible stuff. Beating earnings time and time again on the way up here, as you can see. Pretty incredible stock, to be honest. Definitely one that I added to my portfolio and keep averaging into, because as we know, defense is a massive sector in the US that's been doing incredibly well. So a little bit of Tesla news for you here. You can see Tesla's down since the robo-taxi launch and got sued over the self-driving claims. Tesla edged slightly low on Tuesday as the stock market, as we reported that the EV giant and CEO Elon Musk has been sued by the Tesla shareholders for allegedly committing securities fraud around their autonomous self-driving vehicle claims. This is a bit of an interesting one, but I don't think it will come to anything. But obviously, when people see headlines like this, they do tend to sell. You can see a jury of 8 people decided Friday that Tesla's was partly fault in the case due to the use and marketing of its autopilot technology, and they have to pay a large portion of the $329 million in punitive and compensation damages, apparently, which is quite a big blow, as you can see. Apparently, in 2019, the death of a pedestrian who was struck by a Tesla vehicle that was on autopilot was partly to blame. So very, very interesting stuff. Obviously, things like this can have short-term effects on stocks, as you can see Tesla here, just kind of chopping still sideways in at this bull flag. I think this will probably go back to all-time highs, to be honest. By the way, if you do want to get more information about these kinds of patterns in the market, then please do go and get involved in the WhatsApp and Telegram down below for our stock picks and our analysis on various stocks this week. So you can see Tesla here, a little bit up in pre-market, but struggling recently compared to a lot of other stocks. A little bit of NVIDIA news for you. You can see NVIDIA slips as AMD Supermicro earnings loom. Is NVIDIA a buy or a sell now? And also, I think Donald Trump is having a little bit of problems with China at the minute, and obviously access to the microchips is going to be massively important. Micro devices in general, obviously NVIDIA massively reliant on that massive import of 30,000 chips from Taiwan. Obviously, Taiwan, a massive exporter of these. You can see the China chips get the go-ahead. Nvidia placed an order of 300,000, not 30,000, from Taiwan Semiconductor, adding to an existing inventory of 600,000 or 700,000 chips, which is obviously really, really important. These chips massively important for creating phones, creating devices, creating graphics cards, creating all kinds of technology for the modern world. And you can see spending plans for the magnificent 7 leader Amazon late Thursday didn't lift Nvidia stock. There's an incredible amount of volatility right now for Amazon, but I think Nvidia overall is just going to continue its march to the upside unless we see anything incredible, to be honest. The daily time frame here, extremely bullish. To be honest, most stocks right now looking pretty good. You can see Microsoft here in a bit of a weird spot, but up in pre-market again. Amazon massively down because of obviously getting massively affected by by tariffs, I should say. Imports and exports, as we know, for Amazon, a big part of their business model. You can see the massive gap to the downside that we've seen here, a huge gap. But I think this will probably come back up towards the all-time highs, to be honest, up in pre-market as well. Apple still in a weird spot here, going sideways after the drop for tariffs, and we haven't recovered yet. Google heading, as I said, indomitably back to the all-time highs. Meta here, obviously gapped up massively on its crazy earnings last Wednesday. A week ago, you can see still chopping around in this area. People trying to decide if we're going to come down, fill this gap, or if we're going to bounce back up. I've added Palantir now because, as I said, as that article said, it's one of the biggest stocks in the market now. Incredible, really, that I managed to buy some down here at like $10 or something. Been averaging in for a few years, and you can see it's paid off for me very nicely. So overall, Palantir here, absolutely incredible, done an incredible job. And we're going to continue to see some gains like this in the market going into the rest of the next 3 or 4 years for Trump's term. I think the US is in for a treat. So overall, today in a bit of a weird spot here. Will we go up or down? We've kind of retraced 50% of this downwards move here, and we're probably going to see some more sideways. That is what I would predict. So that is it for today, guys. As always, like and subscribe, leave a comment, get involved down below. Please make sure to WhatsApp and Telegram us so that you can get some of our stock picks for this week. I think you'll enjoy them, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.